Eastern. Tiger Woods makes his return to the Genesis Invitational live on ESPN+. Rory McIlroy, Justin Thomas join us. First time at a PGA Tour event in 844 days. We welcome in our senior writer, Mark Schlabach, joining us now live from Riviera. We had you on yesterday. We know Tiger was teeing off in the Pro-Am. He played 18 holes yesterday. You were there. What is a concern, perhaps, as Tiger gets set for his first round today?
Well, Matt, the good news for Tiger is it feels about 20 degrees warmer than it was yesterday. The wind has died down quite a bit. He looked pretty good walking 18, only played about 16, picked up on the 16th hole after his second shot, but he didn't have any problems walking up the 52 steps above the 18th green to the scorer's table. The question's going to be, you know, what it was a year ago and what it's going to be every time he tees it up going forward. How does he recover? That right ankle is still bothering him, plantar fasciitis in his right foot. He says the right leg's better, but the recovery time between rounds is going to be key. I think today he's got to go out and get some because he's got the late start and then early tomorrow, so not as much time to recover. So he needs to put up a low number today if he can.
Yeah, and Mark, you hit on it there, and I want to give kind of the viewer an insight into what that means because you're thinking, well, wait a second, what does that matter? It matters because Tiger tees off late this afternoon, then does the flip to early on Friday rather than early today, late tomorrow. So in terms of his rehab, Mark, I know it takes a lot to even get him out to the course. How much might that impact him with the way that he was slotted for the tee times today and tomorrow?
Well, I think ideally he'd like to have flipped it, but it is what it is. If you remember back at Augusta last April when he made his return from that horrific car wreck back in February 2021, he said it took hours just to get his body started from waking up and ready to play golf. You know, he says the surgically repaired right leg is in much better shape than it was at that time, but again, still dealing with the ankle, still dealing with the foot, and you know how many back injuries and knee injuries he's had over the years. So it's not just the injuries from the car accident.
And Mark, last one, if I may, we see high up on a perch. I believe the first hole's not too far behind you. We always have to watch Tiger in the courses with the walk. This one can be a little bit difficult. We know the players at TPC Sawgrass, it's flat, and then, of course, Augusta National. What kind of walk is he in store for there at Riviera Country Club?
Yeah, like you said, I'm right above the number one tee. Just saw some guys go off the hill down the number one tee and then the steps back up from 18 that I mentioned earlier, the 52 steps up to the scorer's tent. Otherwise, it's relatively flat. He was more careful walking up hills and down hills yesterday, but not nearly what he faces at Augusta National or a place like Southern Hills at the PGA last year.
Yeah, some of the hilliest walks. People don't know this about the Masters. Probably the hilliest walk on the PGA Tour, but we'll see what he has in store for him today. Mark Schlabach, great stuff covering Tiger throughout the week, who makes his return today, 3:05 Eastern, ESPN+. If you think Tiger's going to just immediately regain his old magic, you can take him at 100-1 to win the tournament at Caesars Sportsbook. He's 5-1 to have a top 20 finish, something he hasn't done in his last 11 PGA Tour starts. January 2020, in fact, was his last top 20, and he's plus money just to make the cut.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.